What if this morning, without knowing it, you had woken up for the last time? You may have smiled, eaten, talked to loved ones, without realizing that the countdown was speeding up, that your name may already be registered among those who will be remembered to Allah today. Death does not warn. She doesn't look at your age, your health, or your plans. She comes like a silent shadow, just when you least expect it. Wherever you are, death will overtake you, even if you are in impregnable towers. Surah An-Nisa 478. Everything you have today, your possessions, your status, your memories, all of this will be left behind. There will only be you and your actions. That day will come, and it could be closer than you imagine. So look within yourself. Have you truly made peace with your Lord? Are you ready to meet Him right now? Every soul will taste death, and on that day you will be brought back to us. Surah Al-Ankabut 29:57. This is not to scare you, but maybe this message is a sign and call and reminder came at the moment when your heart needed to wake up. The soul becomes detached from this lower world. There are times in life when everything that made you tick suddenly starts to lose its color. The things that gave you pleasure, excitement, motivation seem to become bland, tasteless. It's as if your heart no longer beats for the same reasons. The laughter is shorter, the successes are less tasty, material possessions no longer satisfy you, and yet nothing has changed on the outside. But in you, everything is different. You look at this world, and you feel that it can no longer satisfy you. You feel a strange fatigue, as if your soul had enough of this illusion, enough of this commotion, enough of this endless race behind what does not last. You walk the streets, surrounded by people, but you feel detached. You smile, you talk, you live. But in truth, your heart begins to say goodbye to this world, discreetly, slowly, silently. And this detachment is not a weakness. It's a sign that your soul begins to remember where it came from. Let her start looking beyond matter, towards eternity. It's as if Allah was showing you little by little that this world is just a mirage, and what awaits you is much more real. The Prophet said, when Allah wants good for someone, He makes him see the reality of this world. Al-Haqq Sahih. And what is this reality? That everything down here is short-lived, that nothing lasts, and what you will lose one day was never worth selling your soul for Him. This detachment is not an escape. It's an awakening, a deep state where your heart begins to prepare to return home. You don't cry about losing anymore. You no longer struggle to impress. You just want peace, the real one, that which is only found in the proximity of Allah. And maybe this detachment is a gift, a gentle signal from Allah to announce to you, you are soon ready to return to me. The reminder of death becomes constant. You're walking through your life, but something has changed. Death no longer seems distant to you. You feel it. You think about it. You meet it through the stories of others. One day, it's a neighbor. The next day, a celebrity. Then a loved one, a young man, a healthy one. And you hear this same phrase come up again and again. He left like that, without warning. It's not that death has increased. It's that your soul begins to recognize it. Your heart stops for a moment with each announcement. You stay longer in front of a grave. You linger on the grieving faces, and without you understanding why, it affects you more than before. It's like Allah is sending you reminders over and over again, not to scare you, but for prepare yourself. The Prophet said, recall often the destroyer of pleasures, death. Tirmidhi, authenticated by Al-Albani. And sometimes This reminder becomes daily. Your soul feels that the hour is approaching. Not necessarily today, but not in 50 years either. You feel an invisible countdown. There is the story of this pious young man, barely 25 years old, in good health, engaged in dawah. A few months before his death, he said to his friends, "I don't know why, but I feel like my time is almost up." He wrote reminders about death. He prayed with intensity, and one day, on the way back from the mosque, an accident, instant. He left with the wudu, in the state of prayer. It was not a coincidence. It was a preparation. When your soul is about to leave this world, Allah begins to open your eyes. You see death everywhere. You feel her approaching, and this feeling is not an illusion. Here is the section of Sign 4, Mysterious Dreams or Signs, developed with a meditative and emotional style, comprising approximately 2,300 characters. Mysterious dreams or signs. And then, there are these strange dreams. You don't know how to explain it, but they come back. Again and again. Dreams of departure, of voyage, of funeral. Sometimes you see yourself buried or saying goodbye to relatives. You wake up with a heavy heart, as if something had really left you. These are not just dreams. Your soul speak. Shiyukan what your mind still refuses to accept. The Prophet said, "The true dream is one of the 46 parts of the prophecy." Sahih al-Bukhari. And he also said, "Towards the end of time, almost no dream of the believer will be false." Sahih Muslim. It happens that shortly before his death, a pious person dreams of his own end. Some say they saw their own grave, others book close, or a light goes out slowly. Ibn Sirin, a famous interpreter of dreams, relates the case of a man who came to tell him that he dreamed every night that he was being called towards a dark, silent path, lined with graves. Ibn Sirin replied, "Prepare yourself. Allah reminds you gently." And a few days later, he died peacefully in his sleep. These aren't just coincidences. These are subtle signs of the whispers from beyond. And sometimes it's not even in the dream. To feel in your heart that something is coming. You can't explain it, but your intuition becomes sharper. A feeling of fence, of back, of imminent change. Maybe Allah, in His mercy, gives you time to make peace, to return to Him, to repair what needs to be repaired. Maybe He is gracing you with an invisible preparation, gentle but powerful. The signs are there. You still have to open the eyes of your heart. Before those of eternity open, here is the section of Sign 5. You reconcile with people for no apparent reason, developed with a deep, emotional and meditative tone, and containing approximately 300 characters. You make up with people for no apparent reason. There are times in life when you feel a strange desire. No walking away, more than bring closer. You think about people you haven't seen in a long time, friends you got angry with, relatives with whom ties have cooled, and without really understanding why. You want forgive, you want talk, you want fix. This is not a superficial emotion. It's like something bigger than you pushed you to make peace, has emptied your heart, to depart light. You're not running away. You're in the process of free your soul, and maybe it's Allah Himself who inspires you. Allah says in the Quran, He is the one who grants reconciliation between hearts. Surat Al-Anfal 863. When the time of return approaches, some souls are softened. The walls of the heart are collapsing. Pride dies, and what seemed important yesterday is no longer so today. You won't leave this world clean, net, no hard feelings, without moral debt, without hatred in your heart. How many testimonies have we heard of people who, a few days before their death, called a brother, a sister, a friend, to say, "I just wanted to apologize. I want us to be peaceful. as if their souls sensed that the time had come. Sometimes these reconciliations happen for no visible reason. A message, a chance encounter, a triggering event. But in truth, it's no coincidence. It is Allah who prepares His servants. It lightens them. He purifies them. He helps them to leave this world without chains. And you, if you feel this sudden desire for peace, if you want to say, "I love you," or "I forgive you," don't delay. Perhaps your soul is telling you softly, it's time to prepare for your return. You start saying deep things like goodbye. There is a moment when your words change. Without you consciously deciding, your tongue becomes more serious, wiser. You no longer speak to fill the void, to leave traces. You say things like you're saying goodbye. You are talking about the afterlife. You remind your loved ones of the importance of prayer. You tell your children or your friends, cling to Allah. Forgive one another. I love you. Take care of each other. And the others listen to you without understanding. But you, your soul knows. She feels that the book is almost on its last page. The Prophet said, when Allah loves a servant, He softens his end and inspires him with good words before he dies. Reported by Ahmad. This mysterious phenomenon affected many stakes before their death. Some companions of the Prophet uttered words of overwhelming power just before leaving, as Mu'adh ibn Jabal, may God be pleased with him, who on his deathbed said to his son, "Be prepared to face the trials of this world with faith, and know that the most important thing is to meet Allah without associating anything with Him." Then he smiled, looked at the sky and said, "O Lord, you know that I was afraid of you. Now I am no longer afraid. I only have hope in you." These are not ordinary words. These are testaments of the soul. When the hour draws near, Allah sometimes gives His servants a language bathed in light. They speak as if they see what we do not see. Their sentences are simple, but they resonate for a long time. They leave traces, like farewells engraved in hearts. And if you find yourself talking like that, saying things that go beyond your age, your experience, or your usual character, so maybe your soul is already gently come off. She starts to say goodbye, no in panic, but in a meaningful peace, mysterious dreams or signs. Sometimes Allah sends you a message while you sleep, a message that only your heart awake can understand. You are having a dream, and no ordinary dream, and departure and voyage, a funeral. You see a coffin and graveyard, or you feel that you are leaving this world. You wake up with a strange feeling, as if a part of you was already gone. The Prophet said, "The true dream is one of the 46 parts of the prophecy," Sahih al-Bukhari. And in another hadith, toward the end of time, the believer's dreams will almost never lie, Sahih Muslim. Dreams are a subtle language, a veil between the visible world and the invisible. How many believers have seen their own departure in a dream? How many have had the impression that something was happening without being able to explain it? We tell the story of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, the pious caliph. A few nights before his death, he saw angels in a dream who said to him, "Get ready, your return is near." He woke up upset, said ghusl, prayed for a long time, and said to his family, "I sense the call is near, forgive me." And he left this world shortly after, with a smile on his face. This is not a random interpretation. These are sometimes signs of mercy, so you don't get caught off guard, of the silent awakenings sent by Him who see your heart even when you sleep. And if you too experience these strange dreams, or your heart whispers to you that something is happening, don't push away this feeling. Maybe Allah offers you a last reminder to return to Him before the last breath. Deep mid-term refresher if, listening to these signs, your heart trembles. If certain descriptions speak to you as if they were written for you, please know that this is not to scare you. No. Maybe it's a discreet call and sign of mercy d'Allah, a reminder that your soul is precious, that your return is expected, that every beat of your heart is a countdown, but also an opportunity, not to panic, but for s'aligner, for to correct, for to like, for return to Allah with a purified heart. And repent to Allah, all of you, O believers, that you may succeed. Surah An-Nur 24:31. If you experience any of these signs, don't close your heart.